fifth round selection. This is interesting. We talk about our prognostication here on the show. We only talked about one linebacker on our prospect show, and this is the only linebacker that we talked about was Jefrrey Bassa. So if you guys watched our show 2 weeks ago on our prospect show, we talked about Jefrrey Bassa a little bit. We kind of did a little deep dive on the only linebacker we talked about for the potential. Chanel's coming up, Tranquil's coming up. And we're going to have potential free agents there, and this is the guy to go to. And this guy fell massively on a lot of experts' charts. This guy fell big time. What did you guys make of Jefrrey Bassa from Oregon?
Well, I'll tell you what, kind of watching some of this video from the Senior Bowl, watching him out on the field, the combine, he's very athletic. Has a lot of leadership qualities that you look for. And I think the Chiefs really wanted to get a guy that it wasn't any type of drop-off from those starting three to the next guys. And I think we've somewhat had some difficulties with the linebackers that we've had here behind, Tranquil, Bolton, and Chanel a little bit as far as like fitting in and just like being able to do well. Or like not having any type of drop off, not taking anything from Cochran and those guys. I think they did a hell of a job when they got in. But also too, what you could see was there was a little bit of drop off of talent wise, like covering the field, from sideline to sideline. You're not gonna have it with this guy. Boss is a guy, man, that could absolutely run. He can make plays. He can cover. Tight ends. There's another thing that we have to worry about. You get a guy like this who can get right in your hip pocket and challenge the guy going up. And so I think he gives us all of those things that we really want in a linebacker. But more importantly, the way that he really speaks and how he talks out there on the field, you can see that coaches and everybody believe in him because of the leadership qualities. And let me say this, I think those things are lost this day and age as far as like talking about some of the leadership qualities, especially kind of in this world today. It really is. I think, to be honest with you, I'm just going to put this out there. I think that might have been like one of the concerns they had with Shedeur Sanders. Seriously. And sometimes if you don't necessarily display it all the time, then it's an issue and a problem. The reason the Chiefs moved up is because they could trust a guy like this. And that's it's very evident, as far as like what they did to get up there to get him. Now, just finishing up on Shedeur Sanders, I think this had happened for him. I think this is a good lesson. It's a lesson learned. And I think this is something that will humble him to get him ready. Matter of fact, I'm going to be pushing for him to come out there and absolutely light it up, and everybody's been talking about him and all these different things and whatnot. But I think sometimes, we got to realize and understand, man, how much character does count. And leadership character is absolutely vital, especially in that position when you lead. Now, like I said before, and I think sometimes when you see these things out here today in this day and age, we forget about that. We don't quite hold that in high quality and regard as we should. So having a guy like this, man, I think, man, is a great pickup for us.
And here's the video that JD was alluding to as far as some of his leadership.
But seeing how Jacques is a defensive coordinator, what was it like to just work with him today?
It was great. He was telling me to, to even be better and better, get guys in the huddle, get them aligned and, assigned, and then make sure, all 11 are on the same page. So that's my responsibility, and I'm taking a lot of pride in that, So huge shout out to the coaches for trusting and believing in me with the green dots. So, I'm excited.
Actions made. We got a red zone tomorrow, right? More situations. We'll keep on stacking days.
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead. You got that.
Hey, simple. Just like Coach said, keep stacking days, bro. We only got a couple days to build a culture. What you gonna leave with your legacy? See, this your last go around wearing this helmet. You got to think about that. Leave a legacy in the house. Fly around, have fun. Build a bond. Let's go. Hey, how's my job today? Hey, compete on me. Compete on 3. 1, 2, 3. Compete.
For a guy that's played in the Senior Bowl, when you have everybody come in from all different colleges, different walks of life, different cultures and whatnot, for a guy to come in and huddle and break it down means a lot. It means a huge thing because you don't know who all these guys are, right? And the coaches had to see something in him to say, I want you to be the guy to break us down. I want you to be the guy that's going to be a leader for us for the Senior Bowl. Because it's everybody, it's everybody. And so, to me, when I seen that film, I said, "Shoot, that's exactly the type of guy that you need."
And Dan Lanning at Oregon absolutely loved Bassa. He was like the leader, one of the leaders on the defense. He said he wants to attack his game. He doesn't want you to tell him all the things he's great at. He wants to be coached. He coaches the guys around him as well. Beyond his years, wise player. You listen to him talk. He's got the confidence. I loved hearing him. I think that's so important. I know people see things like, might start out as a special teamer. Well, that's because we got pretty good linebacker depth. We got 3 good linebackers right there. I mean, unless someone gets injured, he shouldn't have to play. And most people aren't drafting their, 4th round pick, fifth round pick to come in and start day one of a Super Bowl contending team. That's not normal. People don't usually do that. So I wouldn't want that right away. And I wouldn't want it for him. That's not fair. But to come in and learn, he'll play snaps. Because the way the Chiefs cycle in and move our linebackers around, they were talking about this. There's a great piece on the PFF review on him. They're like, he's so perfect for the Chiefs because the Chiefs they're not the old school, 3 linebackers play all game and that's it. You have Bolton plays all game pretty much. Mm-hmm. And then you have Chenal, who's specialized as the run stuffer blitzer. And Tranquil's usually the pass linebacker, right? And that Bassa's eventually probably going to take over for that. Whether it's he'll work in and definitely have snaps. I think Bassa's you're going to definitely see him on the field this year on defense on top of full-time special teams. He just will be on there. He was playing they ISO him and the slot receiver sometimes and guard tight ends. That's crazy. I mean, just one-on-one, straight up one-on-one, because he's got the eye of a safety and he's got the coverage background of a safety, but he's just now built like a linebacker. He's going to maybe gain some more weight. Maybe he'll get an NFL program now, but you have an heir apparent, and now you have the flexibility, again, making tough decisions of the future. You have the flexibility. You have a guy who can come in. Let's say Tranquil has a bad day. Let's say we can't get someone to guard a certain tight end, which we had problems with last year, or running backs out of the backfield. Yep. Now you're you know what? Let's see what Bassa can do in there. Let's get him out there. And you have a guy who can do that.
Trust him. Yeah,
you have the flexibility. Yeah. And then when Tranquil's contract comes up, and we have a get out year next year, I think we save $5 to $7 million by, I think it's $4 to $7 million. I forgot what it is. That money might have to be allocated to Trent McDuffie or to Karlaftis. So again, tough decisions. Drafting guys like this a year early to get him up to speed so he can eventually just take over for a guy who's on his way out. That's really important. You can't just draft a guy the same year you're getting rid of somebody. It's just not. It doesn't work out that way. It just So I love it. I think it's great. I think he's smooth. And even for a coverage guy, he's not just a finesse linebacker. He sticks his nose in there. He gets dirty. He comes downfield, he's not the most twitchy, but he's a functional, athletic linebacker is what he is. And I'm so happy we got him.
Slam and Sammy says, I learned Bassa played wide receiver in high school before playing safety. Bassa will be our dime. Could be. I mean, he's athletic. So, I mean, they got him for a reason because, we've seen over the last year or so, it's been kind of rough guarding tight ends or running backs. That's why every week on our betting show, we were picking running backs and tight ends that they have over 2 catches and over 20 yards every game.
Yeah. And he could be situational, like you said, bring him in. He could definitely come in and do that. So, also, too, man, I think also what we don't want to miss out on is he does a great job at making tackles in the open field. That's when you have a linebacker who's almost a sure tackle open field. That's another guy that you want. So,
yeah,
it kind of reminds me of 2 linebackers, man, I played with. He does, yeah.
Who?
Sean Barber, and of course Donnie Edwards.
Oh, that's high praise right there, JD.
Very high praise. I'm telling you.
Really high praise.
Yes.
That's big time.
Mm-hmm.
Did Sean text you his thoughts on the pick?
No.
Okay.
Text me on other things. I'll have to text him right now and find out what he thinks.
So Mike Brennan, who just said that's my logic. Well, I thought he was going to get a safety. We just signed one, actually. UDFA.
We
So
signed
Glendon Miller from Maryland, free safety.
Maryland safety, Glendon Miller, yeah.
9.27 RAS.
Athletic, okay.
Athletic, free safety, roamer, what it looks like. So
There you go.
Yeah, it's a start.
Not bad. Not bad. Yeah, so Jefrrey Bassa. GP got some good ones. You call him the final Bassa. So that's a good word right there. It's not the final boss, the final boss.
Blame it on the Bossa Nova, baby.
That's a good one. I like that. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.